Hey, what's good, everybody? It's been a while, and today we have a regalia type beat. I haven't seen many people on YouTube posting videos on this new type beat for me. I've been on the YouTube type beat community for a while, not posting recently, but lurking kind of. And it seems to have popped up recently, and it's these kind of beats with really like orchestral melodies and kind of mainstream drums. It's like a mix of glow and futuristic type beats and Chief Keef and Nakachi and all these things, and it turns out like this. So, first things first, I want to say thank you to my patrons Lane, Reach, and Six Arthies. Thank you guys very much. If you want to get the FLP for this beat and all my other tutorials, the link to my Patreon will be linked down below in the description. No, I have nothing else to say for this introduction. Just let's jump into FL Studio. I'm trying a more like recording in one take, less edited video type thing because I'm trying to get my videos to look more like a class rather than like a production. I want this to have like a more close feeling. So let me know if you like it. A few things I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna be using my drum kits like I always do because for these kind of beats, you don't really need to go crazy with the sound selection. You can just look up like free Chief Keef drum kit online and download the first thing that comes up. I'm using Chemix drum kit. I think it's $15 if I'm not right, if I'm not wrong, or $5. Because it has all like the mainstream sounds, you know. But yeah, I'm using that, and this kit I got from like YouTube, I think, because it had this chance that I didn't have. So, having said that, for the ones that are not familiar with my channel, I make beats, tutorials, and drum kits as well. So, if you want to get into producing or you're already producing and you need some new sounds or you just want to try out some new stuff, my kit store will be linked down in the description. My last drum kit is the toolkit number 1, which is a 3.5 gigabyte drum kit, and it has like over 100 808s, 100 claps. It has a bunch of the BSD presets I use, a bunch of effects presets, a bunch of melodies. It has everything you need to get on producing or keep producing. Now, for the ones that are already on my channel, PayHip just introduced this option where they let me sell bundles. So for $70, you can get all of the drum kits together, which I think it's a pretty good deal. I don't know what you guys think. Now, a few more things. I'm gonna be mainly using one bank for this video. You know, guys, that I use Kontakt a lot for my melodies. I really like how Kontakt sounds. If you don't have Kontakt, you can go with Labs. It's a free BST by Spitfire Audio. It's a sampler, and they have some orchestral banks and piano banks and string banks. Feel free to check it out. It's labs.spitfireaudio.com. And yeah, I've been using that for a bit, but not for this usage. I like more of Spitfire's audio, more like experimental banks. I'm gonna be using the free orchestra by Project Sam. This is a free bank that works with the free version of Kontakt, which is Kontakt Player. You can download it here. It's for free, and you can run these banks for free as well. And like 85% of the sounds I use came from that library, so I would definitely get it if I were you. Having said that, let's just jump into the video. I'll explain how I made everything in order. So yeah, let me play all the sounds of the melody together. So that's how it's sounding. The first thing I started with was the piano, which, fun story or fun fact, I actually first made I made the piano, you know, and then I sent this beat to a friend, and he told me, "Did you sample Silent Hill?" And I was like, "No, I did not." But it turns out that I actually wrote the melody of the Silent Hill soundtrack. I don't remember the specific name of the track, and I didn't even know. It sounds very familiar if you have played Silent Hill. And for the beginning, I used this. It's pretty much the same piano. I just took the chords out of here and these notes, so I can give it more of like a more bouncy introduction, you know, more like, sometimes it's better to have silence like this, and then boom, the drop, you know. The next thing I did was this brass, BRASS. It sounds like this. It's from Albion One. It's called Brass. It's literally called Brass in Albion One by Spitfire Audio. I added 2 EQs, one to take the bass out and then one to make my thing sound louder. I turned the volume up here, the main level here, to like 12 decibels, which is a bunch. You shouldn't do this. I don't know why I chose to do this, to raise the volume up, but I did that somehow. Anyhow. Next thing I did, I layered that with another brass, which is this one. This is called Bombastic Basses from the Free Orchestra by Project Sam. And it sounds a little bit like this. I again took the bass out, so I would leave room for the other elements of my melody to like have their own presence. Not my melody, my bass, my spin 808, sorry. And then, if I'm not wrong, I moved on to making this string. This is a pizzicato or pizzicato. I don't know how to pronounce it, I'm sorry. Pizzicato. A string melody, which is like when you pluck on a violin, when you pluck the strings, if I'm not wrong. I may be wrong on that. I don't play violin, sadly. And this is from Project Sam the Free Orchestra again. It's the short string presets. I just built a counter melody. And then I put down this violin melody. This is the Sordino violin preset from Project Sam the Free Orchestra. This is the bass I already showed, and this is a horn. I wanted to add another counter melody that like showed up more than the ones I had already added, but I couldn't use strings because I had already used too many, and I couldn't use a guitar because you don't use guitars on orchestral beats, and I also couldn't use a flute because it didn't really match. So I added this. And then it just repeats over and over again. It's the Heroic Horn preset on the Free Orchestra. As I said, I was going to be using this a lot, and I did. This right here is a cymbal. It's just making noise right there. Nobody really pays attention to it, but it's there. And the preset is Power Strike right there. Moving on, we have this choir, which is really cool. It's a dynamic preset, which it means that when you turn up or down the volume of the notes, it's not like how loud or quiet their play changes. It does change, but it also changes how the sound behaves, like what the sound being played is. And here's what happens. The preset is Luminous Choir from the Free Orchestra again. And I think, yeah, I took some of the low end out there because it was really muddy. But yeah, I think right now if you're making Regalia type beats, you need the Free Orchestra. Especially because it's free and it's 1 gigabyte. It doesn't take much. And the last thing I added was this solo violin. It's by Spitfire Audio. It's called Solo Violin by Spitfire Audio. Sounds like this. I chose that bang because I liked how it sounds. I didn't really add any effects to it. And that's pretty much it for the melody. There's nothing more that I did really. It sounds very complex because it's a bunch of layers and a bunch of instruments, but it's actually a lot more simpler than it seems. Let's move to the drums, if you will. The first thing I started was with this box. I have heard that on many like Lex Luger, Southside kind of tracks, and I thought it would fit, so I added it. And then we have this high chant. I'm sure you have heard this before. It plays here every 4 bars. We have a box. This is like a regular chant. It plays every 8 steps. I had to look at it to remember. I got this from Out of My Mind, produced by Eddie Gianni and Saad Balmain. I think whoever made the drums did that on one part of the beat, and I thought it was really cool, so I copied it here. I have a crash. This is like the regular like plug and B crash they always use. And then we just have the snares and drums. It's a really simple beat actually once you look at it from close. We have a spin 808, which follows the root notes of my piano progression or piano melody. And then it just repeats. You are more focused on transmitting a feeling throughout your melody rather than just like having really crazy and bouncy and complex drums, which you can have. You should pay a lot of attention to your snares on these kind of beats, but don't focus too much on those things. Let the melody speak for itself, you know? Regular clap, a very dirty clap, very saturated, almost broken clap. A hi-hat, this hi-hat is like literally a 2-step, and then every, so you're playing every 2 steps. Every step in the middle, I turn the velocity down a little bit so it doesn't sound so robotic and repetitive. And then I used my hi-hat preset. This is on my toolkit number 1. You go into presets, mixer, and then this is the hi-hat preset right here. That's what I use on all my hi-hats. We have the open hat, pretty simple. If you want to recreate this effect right here, you have to come into open hat, go into the envelope, and then turn the attack all the way down, decay all the way down, sustain all the way down, release all the way down, and just hold all the way up, and then turn it on, of course. If not, it won't have any effect. Then we only have snares. I have this first snare roll. It sounds like this. Let me play with a metronome. Remember to play with the velocity. It's important in this kind of like snare rolls. And with a clap, it would sound a little bit like this. And the only thing I was needing was an extra hi-hat just to like complement that one. And I used this hi-hat right here. And then that just repeats over and over again. So now let's just play the final product, won't we? It sounds like this. And here I use like this, like classical Chief Keef transition right here. And right here at the very end, I used a sub from my toolkit 808. It sounds like this. But it plays the same notes. So that was literally it. I had planned an Eddie Gianni video, but I formatted my computer, and the beat I was going to show used plugins that I have deleted and I have to reinstall, and I wanted to put out something this week. I was gonna put out something last night, and I just couldn't. I didn't have time, so I just did, okay, let's cover this beat and then the Eddie Gianni one, because I need to re-download my Omnisphere. Yeah, I don't have a backup of that, and that's like 90 gigabytes. That's gonna hurt. My internet's really slow, but I decided to cover this today instead of that, so we could like have a video this week. Thing is, I'm back up with like posting often. I'm gonna try to post every week or every 2 weeks. So let me know down below in the comments what do you want to see next time. I hope to see you around. Have a good night or a day or afternoon or tea time. I don't know what time it is and whenever you're watching this or whatever you're watching this, but have a nice whatever it is right now. See you soon.